Hi, I'm Colleen, and this is part 2 of my prepping for my Simply Vintage Christmas quilt. And on this one, I am resizing some of these panels. This little panel had some that were 5-inch, some that were 4 inches, I think, square. I was trying to keep them straight and I failed. I failed at cutting them straight and keeping the borders, so I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, you can do better. Anyway, I just took some 2.5-inch strips and built out until I had the size I wanted. And I'm adding my quilt setting from 3 Yard Quilts. By the way, I contacted them to ask them if the HSTs they show in their pattern was more efficient than this, because my brain just wouldn't let it go. My brain was nagging me, and they very quickly contacted me back, and Fran said that the way they have the pattern written with the HSTs is the most efficient way for the 3 Yard quilts. So yes, I am not doing it efficiently, but my brain is very happy with this. You know, it's always got to mess with other people's patterns. It's horrible like that, and I apologize. I thought that was pretty neat how quickly they got back to me. So I'm trimming these down just to get a square, a good even square on each. And see there, I'm trying to kind of stretch them back into place. It didn't work. Actually, it worked a little bit, but it didn't work. I probably could have gave them a good spray with water and got them back into place with the iron. I didn't think of that until just now. Of course I didn't. So these are just to subsidize some of the pieced blocks that I was making. I mean, I had them, why not use them? Even though they're too small, they weren't by the time I was done with them, and I could have done something, I don't know, more complicated to size them up. Like do a 1-inch log cabin all the way around them till they were the right size. That would have been cute. Also did not think of that, was thinking about quick because Christmas is over. And I didn't want this one lasting forever, but I did want to finish it. And the amount of blocks, the pieced blocks that I have done live, let's see, I have done 13 on the live. The small version, which is, I don't think they sized this up for you. I think their vintage quilt by 3 Yard Quilts, I should look, but I'm pretty sure it is the one size, which requires, I don't think I'm telling any, inside information of the pattern, because they do a thing on their channel, which you should go watch, because they have all kinds of cool stuff over on their channel, and they have tutorials, they have Q&As, even live ones, and you should check it out. If you like 3 Yard Quilts and you have a question, they are awesome. Anyway, this one called for 4 by 5, which means 4 rows across, 5 down, 4 blocks across, 5 blocks down, which means it's going to use 20. So what did I say? I made live 13. I've made 13 live or on my channel, because one of those I was holiday hop with my friends. So I would need 7 more, and I am going to put up 7 more pieced ones. But if you have a panel with pieces, seriously, use it. I like piecing, but I like panels because they save time. So if you mix the two, you're saving a little bit of time and still have something cute. Although I've mentioned this, I think, in my last pre-recorded upload, I'm going to mention it again. fabric designing companies such as, or manufacturers, I should find out what they're called. I know. That's just on my not gonna do list. Like Northcott, they come to mind because of Stonehenge. But Quilting Treasures, QT, I think they all have a setting for their panels. When they do a panel, they do a setting for it. Now, 3 Yard Quilts does have a beautiful ribbon setting for a large panel, which that is on my to-do list. But if you're looking for more for your panels, wherever you got the panel from, check their site out. They may have a free pattern that uses that panel that you might like, or you might want to save for another panel you have. I've been doing that. And by the way, that's a good category if you're categorizing on your computer. Small panel setting, large panel settings for your panels into quilts. I've been trying to organize mine. I have been watching Just Get It Done Quilts, and I will try to put cards up in the corner so you can visit these places. And she's been doing her beginning of the year declutter of your sewing area. I'm telling you, there is a conspiracy with YouTubers. Dee Dee, Just Get It Done Quilts, and Pat Sloan. Pat Sloan is consistently, like Dee Dee, encouraging to go through your things, to tidy up your things. And that's one of the things I love about Pat Sloan. She does a vlog style, is what she calls a lifestyle, I think, is what she calls her videos. But it's just, sometimes you need that encouragement from another quilter to do what you probably should be doing. Organizing so you can make more quilts. I know when I get overwhelmed, I want to quit. So the more organized my stuff is, the less overwhelmed I feel by it, and I can do more. And who doesn't want that? Okay, what I'm doing here is I just added pieces to the side of this, and I'm cutting it down, just framing it in. I could have measured these better, but like I said, I was in a hurry. And I didn't want to do that math or, anything like that. I just wanted to slap it on, cut it down, get it in the quilt. Had an idea, needed to follow it through so I could go on to the next thing. And here's my inefficient way of doing that setting. I'm perfectly happy with my inefficient way. And I think all quilters I know call patterns suggestions. They certainly are. When I get my hands on it. I think my brain just likes the challenge. It just likes the challenge of what can you do? Anyway, I think we need some of that, maybe not the greatest music. Free stuff. So I will be quiet. One more thing before I forget. If you have a panel that looks, skewed sideways or something, our friend Halo over at Halo Inspired, and I'll try to include the video in the card when this goes up. If I don't, you can go to her channel. There's usually a link underneath my videos at the bottom. Go to her channel and you can search panels over in the search. It's above the video tabs or beside the category tabs. Just put in the word panels and you'll find her how you straighten up a panel, which is very helpful. But I cut these before I watched that. And I'm thankful for her because she saw it and she's like, I've got a video on that. And I was like, oh my gosh. Her name is Angel, in case I haven't mentioned it, and yes, she is. Love her. And she has a shop. Yeah, I know. I'm a hopeless enabler. Have you met my design floor? Yes, it is hard on my knees, but I'm telling you, it's the easiest way for me to see it all and have a quick game of like Tetris. What fits where? What's not going to bug my eyes? I was trying not to put the blues together, but I was okay with them coming down at an angle. And that's kind of what I had in mind when I just did the side and bottom of these panel pieces in the blue. Didn't work out like my mind said it was supposed to, but that's okay. That's okay. I still use them. When I add this side piece to my block, here in just a second, oh, I did a lot of those. They nest right there where my right hand is showing you. They nest right there. All of them nest there. One seam will go up, one seam will go down. If it's not going the direction I want it to begin with, I will twist it till it does. And if I need to snip it with my scissors to make it lay flatter, I will. Again, I was trying to, sorry about that, get my seams to go opposite directions, and I just hang on to them, pin, clip. I have homemade words, let's say right, left, top, bottom, row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with wonder clips that I use to keep track of my rows. Because I've decided I made 2 of some and I don't want them in the same row or the same column, so I'm trying to get them staggered. That's why I'm using those. And I'm just adding to my row and using my words in the clips. You can just write it down. I just printed these out with my printer because my handwriting is atrocious. It is. I printed them out with my printer on some scrap paper cardstock that I had and put packing tape over them to laminate them. That's right. Poor man's lamination. And this is how I stay organized, using these clips telling me which row I'm on and using my design floor. Of course, it's big enough now since I gave my baby girl, granddaughter, her quilt for Christmas. I have the clothing rack that I use. I think it's probably called a freestanding clothing rack. At the time I got it, it was dirt cheap. And it is well worth what I paid for it at the time, which I think was like $10, $12. It's probably went up since then. Anyway, I've got pant hangers that work great to hold a quilt across, so I can see it and see where I want to put everything, because I don't have room for a giant design board. I've got that smaller one that I've made, which serves its purpose. So having the 2, I have plenty of area, and then of course there's the floor when all else fails. I've put this entire row together. Actually, it's missing a couple still, but I'm going ahead and adding it to the rows before and just leaving a little bit unstitched when I get to the end of them, nesting my seams right there where my thumb is. Yeah, I bet if I pinned that, I could save me time. making sure all my edges are lined up, top fabric and the lower fabric. There's a little lip on my machine that likes to push that even though I'm holding it. So pinning would be a good idea right there. I usually hold it until after I get over the plate that covers my bobbin. It just has a little lip right there that likes to mess with everything that goes over it. So you'll see me stop sewing, just like the one on my left hand. That right there, I'm just back stitching. So when I get more blocks, I can figure out where they go and I can add them easily. And I'll add them left to right and then sew them bottom row to the top row, you know. That is the idea behind that. It's not a Y seam, it's just a partial seam, I think is what it would be called. Guys, I don't know all the words. I don't know the technical terms, so I make things up. And you may notice what I'm wearing. That is my cold weather uniform. It's my comfy sewing clothes, and for some reason it's the one that I want. If laundry isn't done and that's in the dirty clothes, I will do the laundry so I can have this to wear. It's my comfy. Does anybody else do that? I don't leave the house a ton, so I don't have a ton of clothes, but I do have comfy clothes that I will reach for the same thing over and over again. I keep the others just in case I get lazy and don't want to do laundry, but I noticed in a lot of my videos I'm wearing the same thing. It's comfortable. Oh, yeah, okay, that may have been too much information. And this would be my wrap music. I'm just squaring all these pieces, and that is the end of part 2. So all I have left for shares is making blocks, I think. Oh yeah, and I've had to do the math like 20 times because I keep putting my scratch papers random places and forgetting where I've put them. So have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes. It's just what I do when I'm not actually on YouTube. Take care. Be the light you hope to see in others. Have a good one.